um, the parliamentary deliberations. We'll be discussing the parliamentary deliberations. Very interesting. That's why I wanted to come on live. But as some might just have realized, there's a press release that came from thank you, thank you. There's a press release that came from GDC, from Mama Kandeh, GDC, Gambia Democratic, I don't know what, yeah, GDC anyway. I think it's Gambia Democratic, something else. Anyway, and I want to address that first so that we can go on to our program itself. And if you just bear me a minute, let me try and locate this press release. Okay. And I'll explain the reason behind this press release. And unfortunately, Mama Kandeh have addressed this to me in person. Or I can say GDC have addressed this to me in person. This was a publication did about a couple of days ago or a week ago on the Open Gambia platform. From obviously, I am the face of Open Gambia, but it was published by Open Gambia, and the person we approved it, and the person that that owns the article was anonymous for that matter, was anonymous. I think it was just appropriate to address it to Open Gambia, but regardless, I would have come out and again respond. But probably if it was on Open Gambia, I would just respond with an article. But it happened as well that I was coming out today. I said I should not miss this opportunity to address this topic before we move on to something else, the other stuff we plan to deal with. Let me read the press release from GDC. They said, I have read an article from Ben Suare accusing Honorable Mama Kandeh of being influenced by the former Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Honorable Usman Ba, for bluntly going against this SIPCA contract with the Gambia. This is about the article, as I said, that we mentioned that Mama Kandeh released an audio in agitating this contract, which we applaud anyway. But for one reason, Mama Kandeh did not like that. But we'll tell you why. We'll tell you why. And this press release was written by Ibrahim Nyang, GDC Admin 1. That's why he said he read an article. And you see, this is what they do. Mama Kandeh would direct the gentleman to write this, but Mama Kandeh would want to make it as he is not responding. It's the secretary who is responding to his article. But it continued to say, I wish to draw Mr. Suarez's attention to that his accusation is not true and very misleading. Honorable Usman Ba has no influence over what Mama Kandeh says or do, because his decision rests in the shoulders with the consultation of his executive. Now, let me tell you why Mama Kandeh is trying to deny this. And to address this to the GDC, I am not in the habit to spend my time to particularly go for a particular opposition party for strategic reasons. That does not mean that I don't hold them accountable. I hold them accountable very differently. And this was a very important issue that needed to be addressed. And I addressed it, and it happened. This is not directly, it's not about Mama Kandeh, but it happened that Mama Kandeh played a role in what had happened. And we verified this information, and it did happen. Now, one would wonder, why would Mama Kandeh don't want to associate or to say that he was influenced? I'll give you the reason. And I know Mama Kandeh is going to deny it because he's denying a fact. And I'm going to give another fact. He's going to deny that. But that does not stop the fact being authentic. And there are witnesses of this. His executive, some members of this executive are witness to what I am going to say here. But there are other people who are witnesses. I'm not going to name their name, but I'm going to reference them for GDC to know that we've got all the facts necessary. I would have even tell them where some of this thing came from, but I don't want to get into people's personal affairs. It will borderline personal affairs. But if it's necessary, if GDC want to drag this, we'll get to that. Now, before the elections, 2021 elections, presidential elections, GDC was in their street. They were broke, completely broke. And this is where Usman Ba came into the picture. Obviously, there was a relationship already with Usman Ba. I'm not going to get into how the relationship was formed. And this particular night, Mama Kandeh called for emergency meeting, and most of the executive were able to attend the meeting at the Baobab Hotel. In the second conference room, I'm particularly going to point out the second conference room, not the first one, the second one. And they had an emergency meeting. And who attended that emergency meeting, or what the emergency meeting was for? To finally tell the executive he have secured some form of funding. And this was from Usman Ba. Usman Ba attended the meeting at the Baobab Hotel, and they went into the second conference room, and Usman Ba came with someone else who works at the Ports Authority. That's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to bring that. Usman Ba came with someone else who worked at the Ports Authority that night. And they went into the conference room, and I will name one of the attendees of this conference from the executive is Tina Fall. The reason I am naming Tina Fall because she's a senior executive member of the GDC. Tina Fall was present. If Tina Fall denies this as an elderly woman, that's for him. Yeah, that's for her. But these are facts. Mama might deny it because he have already denied this, but I don't think Tina will do it. But if Tina comes out and deny it, we'll go further and give our details. Now, and Usman Ba pledged to give $1 million to GDC. He pledged to give $1 million to GDC, and he produced $500,000, half of his pledge, and gave it to GDC Mama Kandeh. Mama Kandeh. That's he gave the pledge, and subsequently he gave the other 500,000. And just to let Mama Kandeh know this, Gambia is a very small place, especially for us that have access to, who can have access to information. And this thing came about. It's not because of I am particular about the GDC. No, this came about, as I said, because there's an investigation going behind to ascertain the reason why Usman Ba left. Was dismissed from the government, from the cabinet. This is why we came across this these facts, and this is the reason why Mama Kandeh does not want to accept that the fact that he released an audio agitating about this contract, which Usman Ba was very particular about. And it's sad that Mama Kandeh does not have advisors, or he's just panicking, thinking that people will link this to money he have received, guilt. If he have kept quiet, many people would not have realized that he was mentioned in this article, or many people would not have seen the significance of him being mentioned in this article, because we got these facts. We don't want to make the issue about Mama Kandeh. It was about Usman and the government, and this was the reason. That's why we were economical with it, and we hold that back. All we did was to put the facts that Mama Kandeh spoke out due to the influence from Usman Ba. Just as we accused, again, because it's a fact, that Honorable Mbalo of the NPP rose into parliament and agitated about this contract because of his being influenced by Usman Bah. These are facts we have from multiple sources. And obviously, this was the reason Mama Kandeh did not. Let me continue with their press release. Their press release continued to say, Honorable Kandeh has been going against the bad practice of government well before Usman became a minister. Why did you say nothing before? You see, again, they are trying to stretch something, and trying to stretch this thing. But whether he has spoke before or not, the question should be, why did I go and mention this time around? I have never. They went on to say Mama Kandeh released an audio because of this or that. The question should be for them. If you are smart enough, it would be that why would Ben read this to Mama Kandeh this time around? Why this question? They think it's smart to put this question here, but the question should be for them because that's what people were thinking. Why would Ben do this? But Ben never did this. I've never come out here to say, oh, Mama Kandeh released this thing or agitated something against government because of someone else. Even though I know his relationship with Panjai Girigala before and everything else. That's another day, and other donors for that matter. You see, if he wants to open a can of worms, we can go in there. And I'm not going to spend more time to do that anyway. But if it's necessary, because of the integrity of myself and the platform, Open Gambia, that's why I'm responding to this. And because he is a leader for political party in the Gambia. He continued to say, the Gambia Democratic Congress stand on this SIPA deal remains the same, and we believe it is a deal to exploit manufacturers and consumers. That's their statement. Continue to say the SIPCA has been the target of several corruption investigations in Switzerland and overseas, and has been ordered by the Swiss federal prosecutor to pay millions of dollars for corporate criminal liability overpayment of bribes in various countries. I beg to ask the question, is SIPCA the only company that government of the Gambia can deal with? I don't know why they put this in their press release, nothing to do with me, because my article have pointed this out. Okay, they continue to say we need to be honest and speak with evidence on what we are sure of at all times. You cannot present any tangible evidence that Mama Kandeh went against this deal because of Usman Bah. Kandeh has no special relationship with Usman Bah, and it is a lie if such irrational accusation can be levied on him without no justification. I said Mama Kandeh that he is the liar. He's the liar, and he have the proof. If he wants to put the proof, let him produce this AfriCell. Let him go and demand AfriCell, because I cannot do that. AfriCell to print out his call log up to even yesterday. His call log up to yesterday or and the past, to see how frequently he speak to Usman Bah. And this night for that matter, that Usman Bah went to Baobab Hotel. After the meeting and this thing, Usman Bah had a dinner with him, and they had met at the Baobab Hotel more than once. You see, they will go to the extent to lie. They are going to this extent to lie, but let them go and print out Mama Kandeh's the official number to prove that he have no special relationship. He went to say that Usman Bah was a state minister appointed by president, and why would he feed Kandeh with information that will destroy the government he represented? You see, again, this is the foolishness. You see, they think that they are smart to put questions here, but that was really answered in the article which I'm going to read later, our article, because of Usman. Get into a deal. He's trying to stop. Usman is not trying to stop this deal because of his honest. He's trying to stop this deal because he wants another deal. Just as he tried to stop the deal with Simlex, which we are against the deal with Simlex because of he have a deal with the Ghanaian company. Usman is not an honest person. And Usman is corrupt equally as Barrow, but in this case, he miscalculated and it backfired. I give you, if you don't know the reason, that's the reason, but Mama Kandeh know that reason. You see, people who are in politics for money, people who think that they can go for leadership for money. You see, I don't want to go into that, but Mama, drag it and I'll come after that. Let's move on, because I don't want this program to be about Mama Kandeh. Honorable, he continued to say, I advise you to concentrate on your party agenda and those you wish to protect on the SIPCA deal. You see, again, he is, I don't know what party agenda. And he's trying to say that we are representing the interests of someone else who have interest in the SIPCA deal. The SIPCA deal who have interest is President Barrow. And the Yankuba Dabo of GRA. And Modu Kesi is the chief of staff who was on it on behalf of President Barrow. The Minister of Justice, would I be representing those people's interests? Anyway, let me just keep it to that. They're just desperately trying to put something here to defend. I would like to use this opportunity to advise Usman Bad that he will not be provoked by people like Ben Suare to come out and talk about the inside happening in the government. He must desist from it to protect the confidential matter at his former ministry and the government. The GDC will continue to serve. This is what he said. Again, this is the hypocrisy. Usman have already recorded corruption in government regards to the Simlex deal. Usman have that evidence. I know Usman have the evidence. Usman knows that I know he have the evidence because I have two close associates of Usman. When I got that evidence, when I know about this, that he have evidence, he have recorded corruption, these things with concerning government ministers. I put it to people who are close to him, and they admitted, yes, it's true, before even I published it. Then, to cut it short, if the GDC want to drag this, now I actually accused them directly that Usman have sponsored them $1 million before the elections, and I put the details for people who came in last. They can follow from the beginning to see the details I gave about Usman Ba, the former Minister of Economic Digital Affairs, giving that money to GDC. Let me move on to the article that warranted this reaction. Sorry. The article that wanted this reaction was published the 19th of July, or Open Gambia platform. And I'm just going to read it. I'm not going to analyze it. It's going to take time. I said, explosive revelation on the sacking of Usman Ba, Communication and Digital Economic Minister. It's a very important article. The reason is because people most people don't know what had led to, because people are speculating, thinking, because of his dual citizenship. No, it was used as a cover. The Open Gambia platform has received new information from a reliable cabinet insider regarding the controversial sacking of former Communication and Digital Economy Minister Usman Ba. This source has provided further clarification and context on the circumstances surrounding Ba's dismissal. Second paragraph. The insider has refuted claims that Ba's sacking was due to his Gambian U.S. dual national status. They stated that Ba had obtained a certificate from the U.S. embassy in Dakar confirming the renunciation of his American citizenship just weeks prior to his dismissal. Instead, the insider explained that his dual citizenship is an insignificant side issue, and that the reason for his dismissal was a result of infighting between him and some of his cabinet colleagues, some of whom were alleged implicated in his reported sting operation exposing bribery and corruption involving Simlex. Just a minute. According to the insider, other factors that led to Bah dismissal included concerns that he would attempt to preempt the awarding of the SIPCA contract. The source expressed confidence that Bah fell out of favor with President Barrow due to the president's alleged involvement in the bribery deal and the financial loss the president would incur should the SIPCA contract fail. I continue. The cabinet insider provided further details on the subsequence of events leading to Bah removal from office. Barrow had initially appointed Bah based on his connection with the late Agriculture Minister O.J. Jallow and the First Lady, Fatoumata Bah Barrow. Also cultivated a strong relationship with the influential cabinet fixer Mohamed Jah, but later fell out. I continue. However, the insider explained that Bah struggled to find his place in Barrow's cabinet, marked by cliques and economic cartel. Some colleagues accused Bah of operating independently, pretending to be incorruptible, but he engaged in corruption dealings too and refused to share the kickbacks he was receiving. This created a rivalry with other corrupt networks within the cabinet, who played a more strategic game by involving Barrow in their corruption gains and sharing the proceeds. I didn't have time to explain further, but this is what the article said. Further, proceed. The insider belief but isolation from influential economic cartel left him vulnerable within the cabinet. He lost the support of the First Lady and clashed with colleagues linked to the cartel, including Mohamed Jah. In fact, according to the insider, the only member of cabinet Bah maintained a positive relationship with his finance minister Sidi Keita and fisheries minister Musa Dramé, who was seen pretending to be befriending Usman, but later stabbed him in the back. Later stab him in the back because we don't want to keep the article going. I can tell you there are more details about Usman's relationship, how it ended with the fisheries minister. Let's go. Ultimately, the insider belief Bah dismissal resulted from his falling out of favor with President Barrow, who was implicated in the alleged bribery and corruption that Bah had sought to expose. Bah's independent and uncompromising approach alienated him from the web of corrupt networks within the cabinet, leading to his eventual downfall. Usman Bah clashed with the cabinet economic cartel. One of the four major clashes between former Communication and Digital Economy Minister Usman Bah and the cabinet economic cartel centered on the renewal of the Simlex group contract to produce national identity card, alien cards, non-Gambian ID cards, residence permit, and driving license. Typically, Simlex secures such agreement through bribery, targeting key decision makers, including President Barrow. However, this did not come to fruitful due to the obstacle Bah had put in place since assuming his ministerial role. Bah obstructed the Simlex contract, driven by the desire for the Gambia government to award the lucrative deal to a Ghanaian company where he allegedly has a personal stake. This is one of the reasons. I continue. Aware of Bah resistance, Simlex approached him with an offer of bribe. This led to Bah staging an elaborate sting operation that succeeded in covertly recording Simlex's attempt to bribe members of the cabinet economic cartel. The fallout from this scandal has now imperils Simlex's chance of retaining the contract, whilst also plunging the government into a crisis over the inability to secure a new agreement to issue crucial national document. In the aftermath of Bah dismissal and the publication of the alleged bribery scandal, Simlex released a press statement widely seen as an incoherent and ineffective attempt to counter the revolution made by the Open Gambia. Simlec's efforts fell short of addressing the core issue raised, that due to corruption and mismanagement, there is currently no valid contract for producing the important national identity documents. Continue. The reported video evidence of the bribery that ensured Simlex and members of the cabinet economic cartel had made it difficult, if not impossible, for Barrow administration to renew the Simlex contract. It had made it difficult. However, given the entrenched culture of impunity within the government and the rot in its core, one cannot rule out the possibility that this contract may still be awarded to Simlex unless Bah or the Gambia public mount a determined challenge. Again, continue. Upon Gambia publication of this ministerial sacking story elicited reaction from some members of National Assembly. Some members of the National Assembly, 3 members of the National Assembly spoke to the Open Gambia for that reason. Members of the National Assembly, they expressed appreciation for the stellar job and accuracy of the story. These lawmakers also lent further credence to Open Gambia's account, as they had sensed that Usman Bah had raised concern about the digital tax stamp contract with SIPCA, and had made effort to get NPP legislators to challenge the awarding of the contract in the National Assembly. You see, this is the first we pointed out to Usman Bah efforts to stop this contract. If GDC want to ask questions, let them read the article properly. But anyway, they are just being dishonest because covering that they are doing this because of someone is sponsoring them, not for the national interest. It's for Mama Kandeh's lifestyle. Understandably, these National Assembly members prefer to remain anonymous. But one told Open Gambia that my mind can never be at peace. Last Wednesday, during oral questions and answers, the issue came up, and Honorable Jibi Mbalo raised the alarm on the floor of the House. This shocked his NPP camp, some of whom pointed out Usman Bah was using him to fight his Usman's battle. It continued. A political observer also informed Open Gambia that Usman had influenced the leader of GDC, Honorable Mama Kandeh, to release an audio condemning the digital tax stamp contract with SIPCA, even before Honorable Mbalo raised the question in Parliament. This is what angered. It's just a short statement that angered them. This article continues. In response to inquiry about Usman's Basakin, an associate of his provided some insights. He explained that Usman employees had fired him due to his effort to stop the massive SIPCA contract covering the telecom sector, the revenue assurance. Usman had disapproved of SIPCA, citing the company past legal trouble for corruption in several countries. This led to fines and custodian sentence for an officer of the company by Swiss courts. We reported that point. The associate lamented that some of Usman's cabinet colleagues had warned him against opposing the SIPCA contract, as they knew President Barrow had a vested interest in the deal, which influenced individuals such as the Justice Minister, such as the Justice Minister, what's his name again? Justice Minister Dawji Jallow, the Director General of Gambia Revenue Authority, Yankuba Dabo, and the State House Chief of Staff, Modou Cissé, were influencing, but Usman refused. According to sources, Mr. Cissé was the direct link to President Barrow to secure his interests in the deal. That's the Chief of Staff. Usman associate further explained that Usman had continuous issues with the state and the economic cartel. This include the plan to privatize Gamtel and the operations of the Gateway Terminal calls charges, which had rendered his position in cabinet untenable. It's not that he's defending, he's against it because of whatever it is for his own interest as well. These people went into cabinet to make money. And he hedged his bets before the elections. And in fact, not only Mama Kandeh he had given money to the First Lady to secure his cabinet position. We didn't want to dive in all that in one article. But I mean, the article is a little bit already long. I mean, just I rest it to that so that we can continue to, to this program. But as I said, I am waiting for GDC to come back. And if they want to keep this, we can keep it on. And I will just bring out more cans, more worms from the can they have already opened, not only on Usman or other people that are keeping the lifestyle of Mama Kandeh. Let's move. You just let me have a breather to move to the next topic. That's the reason why we're here anyway. Let me try and get this. Sorry. Let me just tell this guy a moment. Bro, mind your life. Wow, sorry. Now, let's the reason I was planning to come in today, I'm really tired. Today is my 4th day of rest. But I wanted to come on because of this access to information commission, the Access to Information Commission, and other issues that have been raised in Parliament. This was the reason I was going to come on today. The Mama Kandeh thing is a kind of a side distraction, but as I said, we need to address it because as a political party, if they personally mention me or a platform that have published something factual for the integrity of ourselves on the platform, we have to come and react to this. Now, Gambia, we are in a very, very, very serious situation. I know, we are all aware now, be the diaspora or wherever you are. If you have any concern, if any Gambian would tell you that we are in dire strait. But we keep on seeing a pattern being developed here. That this government is creating employment in only one area. Creating executives, groups of executives, and paying them handsomely. And the legislature, where we see how much they enumerated the legislature, in order to allow to compromise the legislature, corrupt them, and in order for them to do what they want to do. We know how much Barrow and his cabinet, and how they abuse in the paradigm and the corruption, as I said, the cartel. The government is absolutely corrupt. Corruption is almost everywhere, just, with impunity. Nothing will come out of it. These commissions, the access to information, we learn about, I tell you, it's a useless commission. And I give you the reason why. People need to have priority. And I think Gambians by now should agree that Barrow would not put in place any mechanism. Barrow would not put in place any mechanism that have credibility to hold him accountable or his government. It's the same as the reason I'm not campaigning for any of this anti-corruption commission, because it's going to be useless. It's about creating jobs for few people and paying them handsomely whilst people are suffering. Now, I want to keep it brief because I'm boiling here. It's quite warm, and I've got these lights here to keep me out of the dark. The Access to Information Commission, we have seen them the Parliament have approved the commission. Why do I have problem with it? This government is running around creating commissions, and we know that these commissions will be ineffective because of the government vested interest. I'm not saying that we don't need this, but not under Barrow's government, because it's not going to be right. And how do I know this? What have this government improved in rule of law, for that matter? We have seen them always trying to get out to do things that they want to do. Now, to look good, we have an Access to Information Commission. And before the Access to Information Commission, we have seen them how much they put into the press, how much they try to suppress the press and everything else. But now, can you imagine that this government would turn up to appoint the chair of that commission? It's not competency, but for the moral bankrupt of a lady, as a former newsreader and former Jammeh enabler, one of the worst form of enablers for that matter, Nene McDowell-Gay. Jammeh's spin doctor would end up to chair this commission with all the qualified Gambians. I'm not even going to name anybody. But I can tell you, I can name many Gambians in and outside the Gambia who would have taken this job and do a stellar this thing with it. But if I name this, probably he's trying to lobby for one of them. No. For appointing Nene McDowell-Gay, we all know who Nene McDowell-Gay is. From the newsroom, following Jammeh around, to be Jammeh's spin doctor. Anything, spend his time in, anywhere Jammeh is. Travel with Jammeh, do everything for Jammeh, to sell Jammeh. Until, in fact, Jammeh appointed her to run the Daily Observer. Everything. And he fell out with Jammeh. She fall out with Jammeh. And obviously, knowing that he knew it was not safe for him to stay in the country, he exiled herself to the United States. You see, as Gambians have been very accommodating. She came in, Gambians accepted her, and she stayed in, and guess what? How she got back with Jammeh. This is again something that did not come out of the TRRC because of the December 30th was not investigated properly or was not dealt with properly at the TRRC. Nene McDowell-Gay, unfortunately, became aware of Jammeh to be toppled. For Jammeh to be toppled. Instead, she knew, Nene McDowell-Gay from a very early stage knew about Jammeh is going to be toppled. And she was in support of that. Unfortunately, she knew about this. Because of Ibrahima Sankare, the same Ibrahima Sankare, who was supposed to be a spokesperson for this overthrow of government, who in fact went through with the advanced party and stayed in Dakar, waiting to put out the announcement and so on, because he was close to, he's close to Ibrahima Sankare. As things delayed in the Gambia, Nene McDowell-Gay got access to information again that things are not going as planned. It is likely to fail. Things are not going as planned. Nene McDowell-Gay decided to take that information, that he knew that Jammeh would be toppled. And again, think about it. the 30th July guys, 30th December guys were already in the country. Jammeh didn't know about it until Nene McDolgay contacted an ambassador and said that I need the number to Jammeh, and you need to give me this number and tell Jammeh that if I did not get this number, he might be overthrown. They might even overthrow him tonight. Tonight. That's how he got that number. That person spoke to Jammeh, and Jammeh gave her the number. They gave her Jammeh's number directly to Jammeh. This is what led Jammeh to be scared when she told Jammeh, oh, these people are already there. They have these weapons, they have this, and some of your people are with them. That's why Jammeh flew out of the country, because Jammeh just felt that he was completely compromised. If 30th December failed, may the main person and the cause the death of these gallant soldiers, it's Nene McDolgay and Sankare. Nene McDolgay and Sankare. Now, this is how Jammeh knew about the presence of the Gambians out there to topple him. And Nene McDolgay was rewarded. This was the reason again, Gambian acts. This was the reason again. The minute Jammeh came back, 2 days after Nene McDolgay returned from exile. Why do you think Nene McDolgay returned to exile? And in fact become the External Affairs Minister. She was rewarded as the External Affairs Minister. For a commission of information to have credibility, access to information, communication commission, as a woman of that nature, a person of that nature for that matter, to be given that position. The same because of Sankare, now is close to Barrow. She was first put as the chair, she was appointed chair of the Gambia television station, or wherever it is, GRTS. Now a plum job. Can you just imagine? Can you just imagine? Now creating this commission, you expect Nene McDolgay to hold this government accountable. You expect Nene McDolgay not to be, do you expect Nene McDolgay not to be an obstacle if you want to access information that is to expose the government? I'm not going to get into the other commissioners, in fact. I just want to concentrate on Nene McDolgay. But just imagine this. Why are these commissions paid this much? You ask yourself, why are these commissions paid this much? Why our doctors, our nurses are not? You see, because this is what Barrow is creating. He's creating few people, head of the police, few people, head of the army, few people, these things, and all these people create a 1% elite. 1% elite, and I can tell you this is bound to cause trouble. For Nene McDolgay, for the Gambian people that liberated themselves from her, now the Gambian people are going to pay Nene McDolgay, according to information we have, 146,500 per month. To do what? To do what? To do what? 146,000 to do what? Nene McDolgay would never, doesn't have any capacity to have any job that would pay him nothing, half of it. Nothing, absolutely. And this position of commissioners, there are many Gambians that would take this job for the sole reason that they want to serve. They want to be part of contributing. This commission should not be a salary, should be an allowance. They should only pay an allowance. Because these people should be retired people for that matter. The chairman should be a retired person, a statesperson, who would, because of the dignity that comes with the job, But now, whoever takes from Nene McDonald-Gay, that there's no dignity anymore left in that job. Why would Nene McDonald-Gay I'm only talking about the monthly salary. The monthly salary. And again, I would say this is the way they structure it, just as they did with President Barrow, they did with the MPs, this thing. And look at this, it's the APRC again. The speaker becomes a millionaire. Deputy Speaker becomes a millionaire. Nene McDonald-Gay becomes a millionaire. These are the worst enablers of Barrow, of Gambia. The Speaker, tabled the emergency order so that Parliament will be suspended during the impasse. The Deputy Speaker, we all know, came out there as so-called information minister to defy the will of the Gambian people. Nene McDonald-Gay went and informed against Gambians who were to topple that the dictator who was continuing to kill people. And after, we all have witnessed what the dictator did. These three people now are one of the become the best paid people in our public sector. The best paid people in our public sector. And where's the outrage? Gambians are okay with that. And this is what they do. They give them a salary and give them allowances. And in most cases, if you put the allowances together, they are more than the salary. The reason they give them that much allowance, they are not taxed on the allowances. They even create an opportunity for these people not to pay tax, when the average Gambian cannot even afford a bag of rice. Many Gambians are earning less than $6,000. His bag of rice now is almost going to $3,000. And what else do you have to pay for? But Nene McDonald-Gay is been paid $146,500 per month. This includes a basic salary of $29,000. Responsible allowance of $50,000, professional allowance of $13,000, residence allowance of $23,000, utility allowance of $15,000, telephone allowance of $5,500, retention allowance of $11,000. How important are these people to be retained? Of $11,000, domestic servant allowance of $5,500, and I bet you she might not even be paying the maid $5,500. $5,500. The domestic allowance is probably more than some police constables. 500, respective on all, and all other commissioners will get gross salary of 134,000. Let me just clarify again. The 146,500 is including the allowances. But the point here is 29,000 is the salary, and the rest are allowances. She is not going to be taxed for. She's not going to be taxed for those allowances. Why is Nene McDonald-Gay having this? Why do we create this commission? Why the need for this commission to this spending? Now, if you calculate the salaries and allowances for these commissioners, now, how much is it been spent for this commission? How much is going to be spent for this commission? How many millions to run the commission? And end of the year, what are we going to gain from this commission? Because they are not going to do what they're supposed to do. That money could have gone to schools, could have gone to hospitals, could have gone to other places. But no, that's not Barrow's priority. It's to create commissions and jobs for these people and create an elite. This is what the problem is. And this is where we should be concentrating. I will not hear Mama Kandeh talk about this. He only talk about things that would improve his personal lifestyle, because he doesn't have problem with this. But again, to move on to, this just to highlight it. We're going to deal with this again, because as I said, I'm just doing it brief. I cannot just keep quiet when these things are going up. Now, I just want to go on, just a minute. do another thing. This still we still be in Parliament. And the other things, I mean, someone sent me the audios in video form of the deliberation in Parliament. And I would play these audios and just analyze it, because I think these things needed to be highlighted. It's just expose what this government is all about and where our problems lies. Under Barrow, things will never get better. Things will get worse, as people are witnessing now. We are seeing it, what the so-called roads he developed turned into the canals because of the money that was meant to be spent.
The other statement is
the money that was meant to be spent to build the canal, the gutters or drainage system is gone. Just as there's no footbridge, there's nothing, I mean, to complement the roads the way they should be. For the money that was meant to be spent, most of it is going to kickbacks to Barrow and his people. Now, I'm going to play the first audio. This is Honorable Omar Jammeh. This is for Honorable Omar Jammeh, MP for Janjanbureh, independent MP for Janjanbureh, taking on the Speaker of the House and some ministers. Let me just play the first audio.
Much, Honorable Speaker, and I also want to
let me know if you can hear me loud and clear, please.
Thank the Honorable Ministers.
Thank you, Lamin Sise.
Who are present here today with us, not only to be present, but also to listen to our contributions and also put them into consideration for possible address. However, Honorable Speaker, I want to believe that with today's adjournment debate, it will be important to look at pressing issues that Gambians are facing today. And one of the pressing issues that have been emerging from the public is the allocation of a government land to the president. We understand that a land was allocated to the president at Cape Point, and looking at the asset declaration at Fajara Rada, looking at the asset declaration made by the president before he assumed office, the president has over 9+ of land in this very country. And the dictates of our laws is very clear that if you have a land, then it means you are not entitled for any other allocation. So we would expect a better explanation from the office of the president as to why he has been given this land, and also if he is better than the rest of Gambians. I think it's important that we understand some of these things. If we're talking about institutions, I believe it is also important we look at our own institution, that is the National Assembly. Before we can address issues outside, it has to start with us. And for me, at my personal...
Yeah, let me just comment on that. It's excellent here. The opposition leader have spoke about this outside of Parliament. It's important that these things are spoken about in Parliament, to be in public records and parliamentary records for that matter. And if the president did not respond to this, or respond to this by form of not telling the truth, all this kind of information will be relevant for when he leaves office. I mean, these things can come into the court of law and to go after him. This is what accountability is about. Not to say because someone else spoke about it, we're not going to know. This is a very important point. And again, let me emphasize, this is not a land allocation. This is a property, government property be given away. It's not a land, just a government land not being used. This is a property which is worth millions, easily $10 million, easily. It's a property already, and just the existing property, but he took extra land from it. And again, the other question is, how is he been financing this property? We all know that he's taking kickbacks to finance this property. We applaud Honorable Omar Jatta for Jatta Jammeh for his intervention. And now he is going into another thing, is holding the speaker to account. Let's just listen to this.
As a representative of the people of Janjambure, all that I have been seeing is favorism, and I will give evidence, and that starts with the office of the speaker. I think 2 Fridays ago or 3, the staffs of this National Assembly were denied transport simply because the bus was hijacked by the office of the speaker to run his family errands. And I think some of these things should stop henceforth. Before we address other problems, let's address our own problems. Our staffs also deserve good. And if they are denied or deprived from their own staff bus, it means they have to dip their hands in their pockets to pay for transport in order to reach at home. The same office of the speaker hijacked the car of the former speaker, using it as a utility car. Not only using it as a utility car, but also this very car, we understand that the number plate is changed to run family errands. We want to appeal to the office of the speaker to return back this car. The privileges according to the office of the speaker is enough. We have gone to an extent, in fact, in our own budget, we have given you a robin allowance. Is that not enough? So as such, I want to advise that we address that particular issue. During the same sitting, the office of the speaker was praising a particular ministry, that is the Ministry of Information, to an extent advising other ministries to emulate the Ministry of Information for the fact that the minister stood before this plenary and lied on our face to baffle the plenary by telling the plenary that the media contract was...
And let me go on to the second bit before we go to the third session on that audio. Again, this just explains the entitlement with these people. Now the president is doing it, almost everybody is doing it. That's why people are shocked about the revelations in the local government. They're saying, look, the president, that's what he does. He's leading by example, and they are following that example. The few days ago, 2 days ago, it was the audacity of Sidinjai stopping the ferry to wait for him, and the management of the ferry coming out to lie. Where we heard the people affected saying that they have been waiting for 2 hours. But they come in to try to justify and at the same time contradicting themselves by apologizing. What were they apologizing for? Now, the speaker have the audacity that with everything provided for the speaker, it's almost getting $1 million a year on salary and benefits. He's got a free car. He's got a free car. What do you call it? 4x4. Now using the van for the staff, the people that run the National Assembly, so for them to go home and others who are not handsomely rewarded as their boss, the MPs or the speaker himself, for his own errand, denying these people access to this. But not only that, the other vehicle, it's not even all, the other vehicle he was using, he stole it. That's stealing, because he went and altered the identity. What's the definition of theft? What's the definition of theft? Theft is taking something that you're not authorized to take and try to permanently deprive the person of it. Now, if you take a vehicle that's not yours to keep, then you permanent, what constitutes the permanent here is by altering the registration number. You are changing the identity of the vehicle so that it will not be traced. It's theft. The police should have gone after the speaker. It's theft. To use for his private errands. And this is the person. You see, that's why I said people saying, oh, these people are working for Yaya Jammeh to come back. You think these people are mad? You think Yaya Jammeh's government, they would even been here now? He would have been a pensioner. Going around following Yaya in political rallies. But he would not have been the speaker. These people have it better best, in fact, in Barrow's government. When our victims are dying. Our victims are dying. They cannot still access the medical health, support they require. Let's move on.
But from 40 million to 36 or 37 million, which were not true, with all due respect. The facts,
Honorable member, take your seat. It is important that, honorable member, that you know that we here are governed by laws and not emotions, and that we don't go to mislead people who don't have the privilege to come before us to defend. You said I applauded the Honorable Minister for information. Wrongly. That's a misstatement, it's untrue, and it's an allegation. So you don't make those statements. The other statement is, before you allege against individuals, be sure to get your facts. You said the Honorable Minister misled the Assembly. Have you shown the Assembly any evidence to show that he misled us? He should not be showing Assembly that way, Honorable Member. Assembly has processes. The other thing is, you talked about the Honorable Speaker, because if we are talking about me, I never wanted to stop you. If we were talking about somebody, I would have stopped you. Because you are making allegations that are purely untrue. If it is a facility that's offered, for instance, to me, it is the same facility offered to you when you are in need. And to honorable members and staff as and when the need arises. And as head of the institution, if with the robe I wear, I have an allowance for it, it never started with me. This had been going on. However vengeful you may be, please hold your words and your utterances. And if you want to be respected, respect others. Please. You can continue.
Now, listen to the speaker here. You see, the old man thinks that he's smart. He have not responded. He said that he doesn't have the privilege to respond. But what the gentlemen have, deliberated on are valid. Now, the speaker is admitting that he did use the bus. But the speaker is trying to say that, oh, I've just used the bus, but if you want the bus, you too, you can use it. The MP did not say, the Janjambure MP did not say that, I want to use the bus, you deny me the bus. It's saying that you are using the bus when staff who are allocated the bus needed the bus but could not have access to the bus. When you are paid allowances to take care of your needs. This is what he said. He's not saying to you, you are paid allowances, others are not paid allowances. You see, he thinks he's smart. But he did not answer the second thing about the vehicle he stole and change the registration number. He took an opportunity to try to cloud people's judgment, saying that, oh, I didn't have the privilege to respond, but he responded, but trying to cloud people's judgment, saying, oh, if you want the bus, you can borrow the bus. No, the MP did not say that he wanted to borrow the bus and you deny it. But you should not borrow the bus, he's telling you, because you are allocated enough funds to take care of your private business. This vehicle, the van or the bus, is allocated for the staff to use. Then it's not right. Is he going to compensate the staff for paying for transport that day or the other days that they had to these things? Why is it a parliamentary policy? It cannot be a policy that, oh, the MPs have the privilege, the right to withdraw the staff boss when they need to, because if they have a private this thing. This is how entitled they are, how corrupt they are. Now call it for respect. What respect? And the other point that the MP have stated about the communication minister. I don't know whether the speaker have praised him or not. But about misleading Parliament, yes, that's a fact. And down the line, we're going to hear the MP present these facts. And we did, in fact, publish that before. The money they took to bribe this press, now even the press are not turning up to their press conference. We all had Dr. C said the disinformation, not even misinformation, disinformation minister crying out that it's only 2 people, journalists turning up, and they paid for how many journalists, and they promised to bribe other back journalists, or we'll give you land, because we give other journalists land, we'll give you land. Only to turn it up to their disinformation campaign called the Mansakunda. You see, his inexperience crying out in front. When you have a strategy and the strategy fails, you come out and show up your weakness. You didn't go back to the drawing board to rearrange, to make it work. You come in to admit defeat, or only 2 people appeared. Yes, if you keep on, you think, telling lies to the press, you think the press genuine press will come to you? Even the press you bought would not want to come, because already they are known to be to carry, you pay them to carry your news, and your news is not factual. You are running a disinformation campaign, and it was sad that I had people applaud him. Oh, Dr. Sise approach, oh, he is doing a good job for the government. The bar is very low in our country, unfortunately. Someone to come out lying disinformation campaign, you're saying that he's doing a good job for the government. You forget that the government is you, the government is for your interest, it should be for the greater good, for someone who is satisfied, you see, you think people, I don't know how this government thinks. Someone who have critiqued this government more than anybody else, in the short while, to the point of calling the executive incapable, calling out every form of corruption. He was one of the most active, doing press conferences, attacking the government. That person to turn around now to present the government as what have changed. And you want people to buy that information. Let's move on.
I will still stand on my grounds with all due respect, Honorable Speaker. I am not making allegations against any individual or an institution. And the day that the minister was before us, these were issues that we want to bring clarity on, but we were not given the chance. So should I say, we sometimes enable some of the ministers that would come before us to misinform or mislead the parliament. Moving forward, Honorable Speaker, these papers before me here were questions that I administered to the said ministry. And beside me, some of my colleague honorable members did the same. And in the honorable minister's response, he made it very clear that the media contract was meant for 7 media houses. He have gone to the extent of shortlisting some of those media houses that benefited from this contract. And information that emerged from the said ministry as to the 50% payment that was done to these ministries contradicts the list that was shared with us. On the payments that were done to the 7 media houses, to my surprise, a new media house has been captured called Co-Broadcasting and Mediamatic. And on the payment vouchers, QTV and radio never appear. So, who is making an allegation? I will leave that to rest until further notice. But then, for me, I have proven myself beyond all reasonable doubts. Honorable Speaker, let's look at...
Now that is clear. The gentleman have done his job. That's when we hold them accountable, that MPs should do their job. He's done his job. He came out with the receipts to say that, look, these are the receipts. What you have, given out to the public, it's a disinformation, not a misinformation. It's a disinformation. You willingly went out there to mislead the people. You fabricated something that did not happen and pass it on to people. Oh, we only decide the people. But when we look at the facts, they have access to it. If other platforms did ask for it, they will never give you the evidence. But the MP have just proven it, that the entire media bill, what they call it, was a scam. It's trying to buy their propaganda. Let's continue.
Tourism. The Minister of Tourism as well was before us here. We were trying to put him in order. We were also trying for him to inform this plenary as expected. Unfortunately, he came and played with the gallery and equally misinformed this very plenary. And it just went like that. Until at the latter part, when member for Kiam West came up with a question, he was able to agree that yes, the report that he claimed not to receive was received by him. Only that he was not satisfied with the content of the report. When initially he said he didn't receive any report. When will our ministers graduate from lying to honorable elected National Assembly members?
Honorable member, can you withdraw that statement? It's unparliamentary and uncalled for.
I withdraw, Speaker. Let's go.
And next time, honorable member, disciplinary action will be considered against you.
No problem.
I ask you to respect people. You can have differences of opinion. You have an opinion, don't impute it into others. And I have told you, Parliament has procedures and processes. If you feel something is not up to date or is not going fine, you use those tools to reach to what you want to get.
Just a minute. Into
others. And I have told you, Parliament has procedures and processes. If you feel something is not up to date or is not going fine, you use those tools to reach to what you want to get. I've said this many times. You must begin to respect others. I understand sometimes before you come into the chambers, there are certain things that happen. Please, avoid it.
Okay. Speaker.
Now, again, imagine this is why I'm playing this. Is the Honorable Omar Jata Jammeh, MP for Janjanbureh constituency, have just done a brilliant styling. This is what we asked for. Now, look at this. Have pointed out that the tourism minister came and lied to Parliament. What other word can you use? Mislead the Parliament. That, I have not received the report, and now later been pinned down, I've received that report. Can you just imagine? But do you, I don't want to get to that. You know, Omar Jata Jammeh would respond to the speaker. The speaker have made an allegations against the MP, saying, no, when you come into Parliament, whatever you take. Let's just listen to the response here.
Respect is reciprocal. Suppose other things happen before we come into Parliament. I also want to suggest that we interrogate into some of the things that you do before coming in here. Let's progress. Ministry of
Honorable Speaker, don't force me into asking you to sit down, please. I want you to be able to express your opinion and help shape the country. Please. And that you cannot be there and be here. If you are there, you know you cannot be here. Observation. So please restrict yourself to the issues and don't bring about allegations or insults or observation. Insults to people. Please. Observation. Please. Go ahead. Observation, speak. Who am I going to observe? You. Honorable, can you please go ahead?
Now, okay, listen to this. We all know that the MP have put out facts out there, not allegations, facts, things that happen, and the receipts and everything. He produced the receipts, he produced a witness, there's another MP, and the minister admitted. But the speaker went and made an allegation against the speaker, the MP, saying that before you come to Parliament, whatever you do, let's deduct whatever he did not say what it is, I'm not going to say it. Whatever you do. Now, the MP turned around because he made an allegations against the MP, and the MP passed it on to say yourself, whatever you accuse me of, that I do, that you do, make sure when you come in, and don't do it. But now, the speaker want to think, have a problem with that, saying that don't make allegations. The speaker made the allegations. I'm happy that he was holding the speaker to account, and that MP trying to point to the speaker. No, it's actually you. You are the one that alluded to something that you said or accused the honorable member of, and it's just turning round to you. Let's continue.
Honorable Speaker, on the Ministry of Health, one of the ministries that really disappointed me and disappointed the people of Janjanbureh is the Ministry of Health. My reasons are, since I stepped into this Parliament, I have been sending parliamentary questions to the said ministry as to how the people of Janjanbureh and its surrounding can get an ambulance. It has been endless promises until I made my efforts to secure an ambulance for the people of Janjanbureh, a first-class ambulance for that matter. And when I engaged the ministry, he did advise me to write to the ministry for them to consider allocating resources for the upkeeping or for the uprunning of this very ambulance. I did. I wrote to the ministry through the permanent secretary on the 8th of May. The last time he came here, I asked him about the same thing. He was like, we asked you to write, we asked you to hand over the ambulance, you never did, which I did. We had an engagement under the corridors. He said, let me send it to him on WhatsApp, the said letter, which I did. Until today, he never acknowledged the receipt of that letter.
Guys, can you just imagine the audacity of Dr. Samati? The lack of I mean, can you just imagine this? This government is spending millions, paying the Nene McDowell Gates and all these people, giving them, creating jobs for them, spending millions in any silly thing, on their presidential tours, on any silly thing. But to provide an ambulance, they failed. To provide an ambulance, they failed. The member of parliament went to the extent of providing the ambulance. Now for them to take over the ambulance and administrate it. Because of what? Samate. Dr. Samate end up what? Saying that, oh, we told you to write to us. And the guy said, I've already written to you guys. You failed to do this. And turned around to say, send it to me through what? WhatsApp. Send it to me through WhatsApp. He sent a no acknowledgement. Now, Janjanbureh, wherever the constituency is in Janjanbureh, have no ambulance. Have no ambulance. And it's interesting today, I've seen, say Ture, Male Foundation, crying out that they needed to, pick up one of the patients from one of the villages to take to the hospital because of the rainwater. They can't do it. Because the area doesn't have an ambulance, they have to take a taxi. Can you just imagine, Dr. Samate? This is why I'm playing this audio. It's not like me playing, these things. Because someone sent it to me from Parliament. Because how concerned they are. And this government will build, empty hospitals? When, these simple efforts. Let's just move on.
Maybe because I am from the minority caucus, or because I am an independent candidate, the executive want to desperate me. But let me make it very clear. The executive cannot really desperate me, cannot really be an obstacle for me to achieve my dreams and the people of my constituency. And as such, whether they support it or not, we will get that ambulance offering the needed services to the people of Janjanbureh and its surrounding. The same Ministry of Health, Honorable Speaker.
I like that spirit. I like that spirit. You see, because of the political consideration that, or if you provide, Samate is the biggest disappointment ever. Because if the MP, you fail to provide it, the MP is providing it. Yes, the same Samate that facilitated almost millions of dollars fraud for it's not an allegation, it's a fact. It's in the audit reports, COVID audit reports. It's in the Maligan audit reports. It's on the National Audit Office reports. He oversaw millions of dollars procurement of ambulances. Those ambulances are there packed. Those ambulances are there packed. They say, now that MP have provided ambulance for the people, you don't want to facilitate it because of what? Politics. You don't care about the people. And they call themselves Muslims. And their friends or family members, some of them, I'm not saying the entire family members, some of them want to come out to defend them, that, oh, he's a decent person. How can this person be a decent person? But again, let's just listen to the next revelation on health. This is the reason people are dying, because they have no consideration for the people. But I hope these discussions we have in here would awaken people. I know it's enough with this Barrow government. Enough is enough with this Barrow government. Listen to this.
There was a container that was donated to the Ministry of Health. We know all the particulars. We know the number of the container. To our surprise, this very container was auctioned to the office of the First Lady. Why? And the amount that it was auctioned for represent 1% of the value of the container. And when they were loading the container, there was constant consultations, to an extent even it were the officials of the Ministry of Health that gave a list as per the materials that they need in our health facilities. Only for that very container to be auctioned for 200,000. Can't we sympathize ourselves and sympathize Gambians? The last time I have been to the man clinic to God, an old man, maybe at the age of 90 or so, was brought in all the way from Basse, from the Sarahulle community. I'm very sorry. When this old man came, he couldn't secure a bed for admission. Guess what did they do? They went to get a mat, tied whatever, like when we were in Armitage, if you are a senior guy, if you want to protect your privacy, you kind of tie whatever fabrics around your body in order to have your privacy. This was what they have done for this old man on the floor. When we have a full container full of materials that could be distributed to our hospitals and to our health facilities in order to provide the needed services. But we are not doing that. It seems we are a country without a priority.
Now, just imagine this. And, I was talking about the MP providing this ambulance. I remember around the COVID times, there was shortage of water at the Bakau Health Center. And when I find out, because someone went there and found out that there's no water due to what NAWEC were doing, there's no borehole or access to water. Nurses have to try and fetch water as much, Then I sent someone to speak to the management of the health center for us to provide a borehole. The minute they knew the management were accessible and everything, but the minute they realized that it's going to come from the diaspora, the managers said to us, oh, the Barrow, in those days, the Barrow Youth Movement was active. Or they will not be happy that if the diaspora does it, because they started one borehole here, but it was abandoned. Now we want to provide it for our people. They said they will not happy. And I just said, it's up to the people now. If their consideration is politics, let them deal with it. That's why I'm not surprised that this thing is still going on. This thing is still going on. Now, just imagine again the First Lady. Just as the MP said, consultations were even carried out with the health ministry for people in the diaspora helping to send these things. What do you want? We help you with this. A container. And the container disappeared. Mustafa Swandi Dabo did, cover that story. And the First Lady Foundation came trying to disinform the people again. Imagine, why would the First Lady buy the container? It was meant for charity already. Why buy the container? And where are the products? Did they sell them on? Did they sell them on? And they turned around and said, oh, First Lady is helping. Who? Or First Lady Foundation is helping who? The foundation is nothing but money laundering. Just imagine the condition of the old man all the way from Basse. And these are the people voting for Barrow. That's why they needed to be educated. Because when it comes to the politics, they will bring tribalism in it. They will come and give you tribalism. When it's not about tribalism, about the corruption. Because the only reason they want to sit there is not to represent their tribe or tribe interest. There's no Gambian that can occupy an office and say that my office is for my tribe. You are lying, because all Gambians are interrelated. All Gambians are interrelated. Nepotism is more likely. I have a Mandinka nephew, or a Jola cousin, a wall of relationship, different else, and what they do is they give it to all these people, but come to elections they tell you, oh, be careful of these tribes. No, it's not about tribe. It's about corruption, nepotism. Let's move on.
Speaker, Ministry of Youth and Sports. Ministry of Youth and Sports, they are doing well in other areas. But again, our young people must be engaged, more especially our young people in sports. The Independence Stadium, the first allocation was given to them with a promise that it will complete the job. Only for him. the other time with regards to the appointment of a paramount chief. And the Local Government Act is
Now, this is the point. I disagree with the minister, the honorable MP here, saying that the Minister of Sports are doing good. What area? I don't know the area. We all have seen what happened with the when the team were meant to travel. We have seen how they handle it. The Minister of Sports, people keep on forgetting this. They have the mini stadiums all over, about over 5 mini stadiums they meant to develop. Not one is done properly with all the millions given to them. The mini stadiums for how many years now? Before the elections, they were meant to be delivered before elections. They are not done. The corruption. Now, he have pointed out the stadium. We all remember almost 100 million was the first time until they said they finished. It's ready. They invited FIFA to come down, and it was disapproved. Now they approved again. How many? Almost another 100 and something million, if I'm right. I'm not exactly. I don't know exactly how much. Another 100 and something million. Up to today, it's not done. It's because of corruption. Bakari Baji, President Barrow, and others. Yes, every major corruption in that cabinet, President Barrow gets his kickback. Go and look at the contractor. It's Jigo. Jigo is the contractor. Why do you think Jigo is always the contractor? Because of the kickback that goes to Barrow and the relationship the Jigo family have with Barrow. For both brothers, for that matter. Let's just finalize here now.
I want to advise the Honorable Minister to act on this and respect the laws of the land. Let's not allow this thing to drag. And in appointing a paramount chief, it should be politics free. Politics cannot continue to consume us as a nation. Also, with local government, there have been a lot of issues, especially around Kamalu and the rest of the areas. Let's stop playing with Let's stop playing with the media. Coming out with
You were interrupted. I will give you 1 more minute.
With Ministry of Petroleum,
the paramount chief, to be honest, I don't know what relevance they have in our politics. It was created for the sake of it. Chiefs, for that matter, now even the relevance they have in our society is not much, because in most cases it's an extension of the executive, and the executive abuses. I'm not criticizing the chiefs because I don't know them individually, but in most cases that the chiefs that will do what they're supposed to do, they will remove and replace. We have seen that multiple times, just as they used to do. Now, appointing a paramount chief again might be ceremonial, might be cultural, might be tradition, fine. But again, I like it when the MP talked about the case and Kamalu. Because and we have to be very careful with Ahmad. Come to the media and just how to call it, bluff his way out. We have to be very critical with Ahmad. Ahmad is just playing the game. Ahmad is just playing the game, thinking he's a smarter propagandist. He's just propagandist, but he's not going to deliver anything different from what he did at the ministry. It's the intentions that matters. Let's finish up this thing now.
I want to seize this opportunity to thank Member for Lower Salum for bringing up a motion for a parliamentary inquiry. He did the right thing and he will get our support. And we know how that very ministry is polluted. We want to make it pollute-free. Honorable Speaker, on the same ministry, my constituency, my community development fund was committed to expand water supply for the people of Janjambure. Since last year, the National Assembly, through the procurement department, paid NAVEC to go and fix our water problem. Until today, all that they have been telling me now, in fact, they don't have pipes. Can't we close down NAVEC and think of something different?
very much, Honorable.
Thank you.
I now invite Honorable.
Thank you very much, Honorable Omar Jata Jammeh, the independent MP for Janjanbureh. I found him very effective in Parliament, and this is why I play these audios, because he have touched on a range of issues, very critical and deliberated well with receipts and pointing out to all the points that needed to be listened, and we need to discuss this. But again, the reason we're doing this is for the awareness. We need to continue. He talked about the petroleum ministry. I can tell you there's a lot going on, and we're going to cover that soon. And he talked about NAWEC. We all know what NAWEC is now. And I can tell you, as they said, the fish will start to rot from the head. It's because of the corruption from bottom. And that's what infected the entire country. The entire country. Let's just not keep on blaming the police officer in the traffic or the other people. Yeah, we hold them accountable, but look, the entire country is just gone down the drains, and we have to do something very quick because if this continue, we will know more. Inshallah, if by the grace of Allah, tomorrow I might come up, there are other areas we need to. The port of Banjul. The program is running on Freedom now. I have covered it on Freedom, but the interview was in Wolof and for non-Wolof speakers, and I'll try and do that program tomorrow to show you the scam of this Banjul port, Banjul or Banjul Sanyang port and others, and the other issues that we need to cover. Yeah, thank you very much, guys. As I said, people that came out late, we started with the GDC Mama Kandeh Dabakul, and you can listen to that. And if they come back again, we'll get, I don't want to deal with it, but if they want to discredit us, we'll expose them more for what they are. It's a party that is for Mama Kandeh's lifestyle, and let them be that, but let them not try to come out here to discredit, try to discredit people or not. Whatever I am associated with, I'm not doing it for monetary or any other reasons. My integrity is far greater than than what other people can deprive from what they do. And the platform, the reason we have that platform is because of we have a vacuum. I'm not a journalist. Because we have a vacuum, and we believe that we can do a little bit in order to support. Thank you very much, guys, and have a good evening. Thank you.